We're going to show you a different method of cutting the kernels off of your corn for to prepare it for either canning or drying or freezing. Now this tool here, how it has some teeth and a blade and it springs, is made generally to put it on a nail coming out of a clean board so that it'll hold it still, and then you push down on the top, allowing that spring action to cut just enough of the kernel off to get it all clean. We come up with a different idea. Found a bucket here that works quite nice. I've cut some notches in it here for this end of the tool, and I've cut a hole and then a sliding notch for the other end of the tool. So if I insert that into the bucket like so, and keep that part of it down under that lip so that it can't come out as easy, then it can still slide and kind of adjust to the different size of cobs that you may have. One thing you might want to be careful is your hands as you go push down on the blade. So first I started out fairly narrow, start the corn through, and I'm just kind of letting that spring kind of come out. You can see how one pass gets it fairly good. Now you might want to get some of those sweeter kernels out, and so just hold it with your fingers lightly and just try to take some of that off. Okay? Just be careful not to cut your hand. I've just made this simple little board, tried to clean it off, smooth it off, put a couple screws through it so that you can then put it into the end of the corn and you protect your hand. Okay? It takes a little bit of force, but you get the hang of it. Some cobs you need to push down a little harder than others. And then get rid of the cob. You get the hang of it, how much tension and pressure you need to use to where, see there, it's cutting a little too much of the cob and not the kernels, so it's not too bad. It's still quicker than a knife. It's a little messy, but it's always messy, no matter what you do. And I just run it through another pass just to get some of that sweet kernel off, but you wouldn't have to. And I suppose you could wear some type of a protective glove, because it does hurt if you use too much pressure, then you'd get blood in your corn. And then, when you've got quite a little pile of corn in there, you'd want to dump it out so you can, because you don't want it completely full, or it's harder to get the spent ear out. And you could refine this. I just made this in just a few minutes just because it was handy. You can see you can go through quite a few ears in a fairly short amount of time if you're putting up a lot of corn.